How y'all doing? Welcome back to another episode. Troy Center Chronicles. I believe this is number 7, if I'm not mistaken. Number 7. Yeah. It's crazy, man. Once again, it's just all the feedback is just great, and the tips are welcome. Please bring it and let us know your tips and how we can improve and do better, because I'm always looking to improve for sure. Just real quick with these topics, this is number 7. Like I said, a lot of them are pretty much organic, and they're coming to me naturally. And that's one of the things that we definitely pride ourselves on, is that being organic and being not real, because I don't want to say, oh, I'm real, but no, organic, and it's natural, the topics that we talk about. Because like I said, what we want to do and what we plan to do with the Chronicles is everything that we're sitting here talking about to you all is things that we practice. So I'm not just sitting here preaching to the camera or anything like that. What we're doing is actually going out into the field and installing these different topics in our youth, right? So whether it's reach one, teach one, where we're actually able to reach the youth, and then within that reaching, we can teach them. Or like today's topic, we're going to talk about wealth. What is wealth to you? And with this topic, we can go a lot of different ways, whether it be financial literacy, or the original question, what is wealth? We have to identify it. We don't want others to identify it from us. We want to identify it. So we being the individual, you want to be able to identify what wealth means to you. You don't want the society to do that. So yeah, wealth. A lot of people, especially young teenagers, they would say that, being wealthy or being rich is having a foreign, or, like a mansion and things of that nature. And it's like, man, you have a lot to learn, which I don't want to be the one sitting here acting like the old adult, because for sure I definitely thought of those things when I was younger, like to have a nice car or a nice house, because trust me, in one of these Chronicles we'll get into my upbringing. So I definitely had aspirations to have more than what we had growing up, which would probably have been average if we had more. But that's a whole nother topic that we'll talk about. But wealth doesn't necessarily mean having a foreign car or a mansion. And that's something that we want to install with our youth and let them know. Wealth can be, especially for the T.R.O.Y Center right now, for those of you all out there who know anything about a 501c3, a nonprofit, you don't get into this field to become a millionaire. It just doesn't happen. However, the NCAA, I believe, is a nonprofit, and we already know how they generate money, but that could be a whole new topic just as well. But no, but the average, or more than not, the nonprofits are not coming into it or not existing as millionaires, and people who run them, they're not necessarily millionaires. So you don't necessarily come into the field looking for that. So, but what I will say though, that it does take money to keep the lights on and the cameras rolling, and to get out there in the field and do the things that we need to provide the resources, the experiences, and things of that nature for the youth. So it definitely takes, some type of financing to do that. And I'm gonna have to say that that's one of the hardest parts about running a nonprofit, is within myself, like asking for money or going out and doing fundraisers and things that I need. It's crazy. Things of that nature. I have the vision, so like the CVO, the Chief Visionary Officer, if you will. The income, the funding, it is important. So I don't want to get misconstrued to sit here and say like having a steady income isn't important. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is this: being wealthy doesn't necessarily mean having a foreign car and a 10-bedroom mansion. And a lot of our youth are fixated on that, and they don't understand that a lot of the riches they already possess. Case in point, the T.R.O.Y Center, we provide a service. To see a young man or a young lady with a smile because you were able to give them a backpack, a pair of shoes, teach them how to tie a tie, or teach them to think outside of the box. That's payment. That's payment for me to see that, to see a young man just like, oh, thank you, man. I really appreciate this. That's payment. Think about it. Just think about the last time you gave something to someone. How did you feel? I guarantee you felt great, right? And that's the feeling. That's the reward for us. That's where our riches come in. That's the wealth that we obtain. Now, like, once again, we definitely need money to generate and to keep things going, right? At the same time, the reward in giving at points in times is way more gratifying than you handing over a check for this amount or whatnot. So it's just, how do you identify wealth, right? And so with our youth, we want to help them understand that it's more to wealth than just money and physical things. Now, in order to understand that, we will teach them financial literacy, and we will teach them, things about balancing a checkbook and, all these things that pertain to money. However, you can have all the money in the world and still be miserable. Wealth can be in your peace. Wealth can be in your happiness. For a young man or a young lady, how can they see that if every day they're worrying about what they're going to eat? They're not really trying to hear, hey, no, it's not all about money, but no, I need money to eat. Okay, so now guess what? Now we got to meet them at their level. Well, okay, I get it. You need a meal today. You weren't able to eat yesterday. Let me take you to the pond, and I'm going to teach you how to fish. I'm not going to fish for you. I'm going to teach you. So when I'm not around, you can still eat because you learned how to fish. And that's what the T.R.O.Y Center does, right? So we understand that some youth just are not fortunate enough to get the bare necessities that they need. So thinking outside the box when it comes to the finances, the money, the wealth, it's kind of like a oxymoron, if you will, to them. It's kind of like you got to be kidding me. No, money is everything to these kids because they're in survival brain, right? And that could be a whole nother topic that we talk about. But yeah, we want to stay on key right now. Wealth. What is wealth to you? I remember learning about the barter system. And back in the day, if I was talented in, let's just say, sewing or knitting or something like that, right? And then someone else was, really good at agriculture and they knew how to raise crop. In the wintertime, they may need a coat, and I can sew the coat up and make them a coat. But I'm gonna need some kind of food. So instead of currency exchanging, I'm going to exchange my skill for your skill. Barter system. And I'm bringing that up to say wealth, finances, money is something that's been generated to make sure that we do the things that we have to do, quote unquote. So if you're able to think outside of that, to make sure that you are able to do things that generate some type of positive emotion, that could be wealth just as well. At the same time, now, with the financial literacy that we're going to install, figure out how to make some type of income from that. I heard this thing the other day, like kids nowadays are trying to be influencers and gamers and things of that nature. You have less athletes out there trying to make it in the athletic world. And that's okay, I get that. So tap into what you're good at to generate the wealth. Now, the wealth, once again, can be you making you coding something for someone IT, and they're just so happy and gratified that you fixed it, or you made this computer software for them, and they're happy. They're genuinely happy. That's going to make you happy. And at the same time, you might even make a buck, right? But if you go into it with the passion, the desire, that could be way more rich, if you will, than, the money that comes from it. And it sounds a little far-fetched, but it's a real thing. It's a real thing. Give me the things that I'm worth, or give me the money that I'm worth, and not a penny more. But definitely give me what I'm worth. And that's what we want to install in our youth. Make sure you get what you are worth, right? And with that will come happiness. But we will get to that point. Just want to say, man, it's been a real good one today, man, because wealth, what is it to you? What is wealth to you? Let us know. Leave some comments and let us know what you think. And we'll be back with another one. This is episode number 7, Choice in the Chronicles. We appreciate everything, and positive feedback, negative feedback. I'm always open to improvement. So please bring it, leave it, and Choice Center. We out.